Hey, Dominic Steele here. Good morning, Daily Bible Time, and third day of Cultivate Conference today. Kids and Youth Training Conference. First 2 days, absolutely terrific. Day 3 today, and then wrapping it up tomorrow. Hey, a teacher of the law comes up to Jesus in Mark 12, verse 28. Now, this guy's been looking at Jesus and has been impressed by, I guess, his teaching, his person. So he asks Jesus, of all the commandments, which is the most important? What's the core of faith? What's the core of relationship with God? And Jesus replies, taking the teacher back to key verse in the Old Testament, absolutely pivotal verse in the Old Testament, Deuteronomy 6, verse 5. This is the most important one, says Jesus. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, with all your strength. And the second great commandment is this: love your neighbour as yourself. There's no commandment greater than these. 2 commandments standing out above everything else. Love God with everything and love your neighbour as yourself. And that stands right at the core of the Jewish faith. And the teacher agrees with Jesus. Verse 32, he says, well said. You're right in saying that God is one and there's no other but him, to love him with all your heart, with all your understanding, with all your strength, with all your mind, to love your neighbour as yourself. That's much more important than all the burnt offerings and sacrifices. And Jesus responds, impressed by the man's wisdom and actually the essential righteousness of his reply. He says, you are not far from the kingdom of God. Now, I was listening to a sermon once, and the guy preaching said, he reminded us, I don't know if you've ever played the game Hot and Cold, where you've hidden someone and you're guiding the person who's looking for it towards it by saying, as they get closer, he said, warmer, 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 or cold, 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 absolutely freezing. And Jesus is saying to this man, you're hot. You're so hot, you're almost getting your fingers burnt. You're very close. Why does he say that? What makes this man close to the kingdom of God? Close to genuine, authentic relationship with God. Well, I think perhaps it is the man's sincerity and genuineness. Perhaps most of the other teachers of the law at this stage, they were hostile. That is the case. They were in opposition to Jesus, plotting to kill him, and in a few days they were going to succeed. But this man actually seems to be on a journey towards Jesus. But it's more than just that, I think. I think what his understanding was right. His understanding of what really counts, what really matters, and his faith is God-centered. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, and mind. He's recognizing God, the Maker, God, the Redeemer, right at the heart of true faith. And you're right, the teacher says to Jesus, in saying God is one and there is no other. God is the unique sovereign center of faith, and it's worship and love of God that stands at the center of true faith. And when religion goes wrong, that's when we take over and put ourselves at the center. And that is so tempting. In verse 38, Jesus speaks to a large crowd who'd been listening to him and impressed with him. And Jesus says, watch out for the teachers of the law. They like to walk around in flowing robes, to be greeted in the marketplace, have the most important seats in the synagogue, and the places of honor at banquets. They love being at the center. They love being highly thought of. And yet true faith, it's not us-centered, it's God-centered. And next thing, it's internal, not external for show. And when Jesus says, love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, he's saying to somebody, love from the very core of your being, from the outside, from the inside. That's how we're to love God. Minimum, what is true faith, true religion, internal as well as external. Now, we're going to do a little bit more on loving God with our heart, soul, and mind tomorrow on Daily Bible Time. Thanks for joining us today, and look forward to your company tomorrow morning.